Do you ever struggle to be authentically yourself? Well, being yourself, I mean, how do we even know what that truly is in a sense? But the reason why I was thinking about this today for a video was I just watched a podcast with Theo Vaughn and Gabor Mate, and a great podcast. And one of the things that he brought up was this book called The Top Five Regrets of Dying People. And the number one regret of people who are dying, these are people who are dying, early. They weren't, 90 and just getting, getting too old. They were dying of cancer and dying of things where their life was shortened. Okay. And the top regret was not being authentically themselves. And the second regret was not being genuine with their emotions. So, trying to be happy when really they were sad, or you know what I mean? Like not really being authentic and not staying in those emotions, or expressing them in a way that was disingenuous just to kind of fit in with other people. And it's the same sort of thing with not being your true self, because maybe you're afraid of other people and what they're going to say. And I struggle with this. I mean, I wrote a book about meditation, and I didn't put in this whole part about that, what I really wanted to put in it, because I wanted to appease what I thought that other people wanted. But I wanted to issue a challenge to people today, and I do this in a lot of my videos, is to start a YouTube channel of your own. I think that for me, this helps me express myself. I talk about all different sorts of topics, but it's a great way to really be yourself, and it's called YouTube. And I think that everyone should have one. So if you're struggling with that right now, put a camera on yourself and just post it out into the world. One of my biggest fears was that nobody was going to like anything that I put out there. And now of course, it feels good when somebody likes something, and it doesn't feel good when nobody watches it or nobody likes it, but I don't necessarily do it for other people. And what's weird about that is when I don't do it for other people, my genuine self comes out in my videos, and I get a genuine response back. And that's, like I said, with people who die, if that's a regret, I mean, imagine if I didn't do what I wanted to do, and then I sat back regretting not doing that. I think going out there and doing it, and hey, maybe you're going to be great, maybe you're going to be perfect, maybe you're going to be not so perfect, maybe you're going to be terrible, but giving it a go and doing what I like, this is something that I enjoy doing. I love to talk about things and discuss different things and ask questions and help people and give people my perspective. And I've always been like that. If I get talking on a subject, it's going to be tough for you to shut me up. But I do it because I care. It's not because I am just wanting to bullshit. I genuinely want to help people by talking through things. I remember when I was, in one of my first relationships, we talked on the phone for 343 minutes. I'm pretty sure I remember hanging up the phone, being on one phone for 343 minutes. I mean, how many hours that is. And it was just, we just loved to talk back and forth. And of course I was young and I was a kid, but I've always had that, ability to be able to listen and to be able to add something and to talk back and forth. And I feel like that's what YouTube is for me, is a way for me to communicate with people. So that's why I love when people comment and when we get into discussions about things, and we work out, what's going on. And I see so much of this in the today, of course, myself, and I'm going through, a program, a 12-step program at the moment, where it's helping me realize who I really am. And instead of running away from things with, alcohol and drugs, I'm able to, face things head on and be myself, not be something that I just want other people to be. And it's freeing, to be able to be honest and to be able to be vulnerable. It's really freeing, and it's not as scary as I thought it was going to be. Of course, I have people around me that help support me, but it's really not what I make it out to be, because my imagination can run wild. And I just thought that, listening to the podcast with Theo and Dr. Gabor Mate, it's just so powerful to see how that's what people regret, is just not being authentically themselves. I remember Bruce Lee has this quote, where he says, he's in an interview and he's talking about how, to act a certain way when you're on screen, to to be cocky or to have a certain sense of attitude and the smirk and all that. I mean, it's easy to do that, right? You can put a persona on, but he says to genuinely express yourself. That is very hard to do. And I think it's a lot of why that makes it harder today is because we have things like comment sections. We have things, like a like. We have so much of this pressure from outside to be like, well, do what gets likes. Don't do what you want to do. Oh, that doesn't get likes. You're not cool. People said that you're an idiot, so you should never do that again because they commented on something. And we have this ability to be able to tear each other down. And I've seen it when I've gone out. I remember going to this one place, where, it's a bar in Newport Beach, and everyone there is good looking. Guys and girls, everyone's beautiful, and no one's having fun. They're all young. No one's having fun. No one's dancing. Everyone's just standing around because they don't want to do something embarrassing because they know that it's going to get caught on camera because everybody has their phones. And it's like, what a way to live, where you're not able to just be out there and to have fun and enjoy yourself because you're afraid of what other people are going to say. And so that's why I challenge you. If you have something creative in your mind and you want to talk about it, if it doesn't, it has nothing to do with me, all right, and communicating with me and making videos back and forth. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying for yourself, express yourself, get outside of this fear that we have. And I don't guarantee you, because there's no guarantees in life, but I bet that it won't be as scary as you might think it is. And I'm living proof of that because, I was making videos for a while and then I went away from making videos, and I'm going to share more about why I stopped making them. But a lot of it is fear, and fear led to other things in my life, taking over. Drugs and alcohol, were things that just took over my life, and I didn't want to, feel my genuine emotions. I just wanted to feel good all the time, and being able to sit in those emotions and being able to express myself, that's the only way that you're going to be able to live a true full life. And what's wild is as much as I thought I would be, being in these emotions and actually feeling them and not having these substances to be able to run to, it's actually better. I feel better. I'm able to sleep so much better now, every single day. And I wouldn't be able to do that again without this program and without people helping me. But if I never expressed how I am and I just held everything in, nothing's ever going to change. And so I challenge you to start your own channel. Get outside of yourself, express with the world. We need it. We need genuine people. We need genuineness, if that's a word. We need that, because I feel like some of society today rewards just being fake. I remember listening to another podcast where the guy's talking about how literally he knows a couple that's on social media that portrays like they're this great couple. And he's like, and they're about to be divorced. And you would go to if I sent you to their Instagram, you would think that they are the happiest couple on planet Earth. But they are in the middle of getting a divorce. And so we put this persona out there because that's what we know other people like. And being raw and being vulnerable, as scary as it sounds, it actually opens up this freedom for people to be like, oh yeah, me too. Yeah, I feel that same way. And it drops everyone's guard down and allows us to grow and work through things together. Now, of course, if I shared every little detail of my life, it could get annoying. And I think some people overshare. But what I'm talking about is again, expressing yourself creatively or just however it is that you want to do. I think the world needs that. And I think it would benefit from that. And if you can get a chance to check out that podcast, there's clips running around of that little snippet that I just talked about, the top, regrets of dying people. But check out the whole podcast. The whole podcast is so powerful. So definitely recommended to watch that. But again, my challenge is start a YouTube channel, get out there and be you. And it's all good. At the end of the day, it's all good. So thanks for that. And hope to see you. Post some videos.